Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another book review. I just recently read The Nerdest Way by Hardwick. How to reach the next level in real life. And the reason I picked up, I didn't know my local library had it, but I thought, oh, Hardwick wrote a book. Well, that's unusual. I never really thought of him as a life coach, but he goes into his past and discusses the demon of addiction that he had, the alcoholism that he suffered with for years until he got himself on the right track. And then he wanted to help other people, namely nerds, who were socially awkward and just didn't assert themselves, how to do this in a good way. And he talks about all the aspects of building one's character, just like in Dungeons and Dragons. I thought that was a very interesting analogy. However, in Dungeons and Dragons, you have the added charisma, not charisma, but magical points. Basically, I'm always an enchantress, so yeah, of course I always have MP. But anyways, he goes into great detail about how to conquer addiction, but I thought that chapter was very, very revealing. And I had addiction myself. I dealt with eBay and impulse buying, and you think they're not so insidious as alcoholism? You'd be wrong. But I don't do it anymore. I've overcome that because I realize life is more than material stuff, because I don't have room and I live in a smaller space. So you just have to weigh what you need versus what you want later on in life. But all of these things are frivolous. I know that there are things I really do want to do, and I'm saving up for it, like going traveling, going skydiving. I went to the Chinese Lantern Festival, and it was worth every penny. But I know what's important. I've weighed everything in the balance, and I'm not found wanting. Sorry, I had to just put a spin on that scripture there. But it's a really sensational book, extremely uplifting, and I found it more inspiring to reach my goals. I am looking for a new job. I will admit to that, because what I'm doing right now, I can't stand it. It's just driving me crazy. There's no creative outlet for me except when I come home, and I want to be creative all the time, because that's all that's happening in my mind is nothing but creativity. So I'm just hoping I can figure out how to network with other people, like he says. And if you want a book that really teaches you how to get yourself on the right track, eat more healthy, work out more, not slouch. Like, I don't slouch, but I was taught when I was young, so that's probably why I don't fit the whole stereotype of how a nerd will posture themselves typically. He says it's the binary slouch. I love the way that he says that. It's so funny, but it's so true. He talks about just learning from people that inspire you and going after your aspirations, because only you are in control of your life, not other people around you. And my favorite chapter is where he talks about learning how to say no. That's assertiveness. And the rules of assertion are, you can ask anybody for anything, but realize they can say no. Second rule is anybody can ask me for anything, but I can also deny. I can say no. Rule 3 is, with all that being said, some people just don't like no. But you can always come to a consensus about a lot of different things. And it's just in how it's all about communication. Is conversing. Is finding a nice middle ground. Happy or content. I would say not happy is better. Content is the middle ground. Content is just realizing I'm glad I'm at this spot. I'm pleased with what I have. It's not exactly what I want. However, I'm good. That's the middle ground. That's That's the middle of the wave, as my dad would say. My dad was a genius, but he never knew. Mom was smarter, but Dad was he was a pretty smart cookie too. And he admitted to it. But it's a woefully short book. It's a sensational self-help book that I decided to pick up just for, you know, kicks and giggles. It's superb, and Chris Hardwick is one of my idols. He has been ever since Nerdest and Talking Dead and Doctor Who when he does the after show, and I envy him for that. But someday I'm hoping I can actually meet him and tell him, hey, I'm glad that you were upfront and personal with your struggle with alcoholism, and that takes guts, man. And fist bump, more power to you. You're sensational. You're a beacon to nerds everywhere. And Nerdist itself, he explains that he defines it as an artful nerd. I thought, that's me. That's me. And the thing is how to how to integrate my skill with other people of like mind and trying to find the group, you know, vibe with your tribe sort of deal. There's so much truth to that. You can't soar with the eagles if you flock with sparrows, or whatever, you know, mindless flocking bird like starling. I should say birds aren't mindless creatures, but you've got those that are by themselves very majestic, and then you have those who come together, and you know they always stay together. They don't rise above. So I want to be an eagle like my totem. But that being said, I am on the search for a new job. I'm going to keep trying. I've been overlooked, overqualified. I don't care. I'm going to keep on keeping on, and I'm not going to let this get me down. No. But this book deserves 2 thumbs up, 5 stars hands down. It's terrific if you're like me and you enjoy pop culture references, which he gets into quite a bit, and he throws them hot and heavy at you. And it's really hilarious, but it's also very poignant, and he doesn't sugarcoat anything, which I enjoy. He just, you know, gets in your face. It's like, you got to do this. You got to look at yourself and, you know, fix what's wrong. And if you had self-improvement, that's what self-help is all about. It's just making yourself your best version, as Ralph Smart says in The Deep Divers on YouTube. I love Ralph Smart. He's also one of my heroes. But that's all I got to say about Nerdist Way. So until next time, live on, prosper. Ciao, tutti.